Hello, everybody. Hey, this is Coach Fred. I'm a certified health coach with Optavia, and today we're going to talk about stroke in women, particularly women. And first, I want to remind you, even though I am certified through Villanova University School of Nursing, I am not a doctor. So, as usual, we always say that you should always have any questions or thinking about doing any kind of program, you should talk to your own personal physician. But this is the Habits of Health Lifestyle Hutchinson, and we're all about changing the family tree, starting with your own. Okay, today we'll talk about strokes in women. Now, first of all, to understand this, this is the map of the obesity rate of the United States, and the darker colors are the higher the rate of the obesity. The 5 states here are over 35% obese. Now, this is a chart that shows the stroke rate by state, and you'll notice that the darker areas corresponds very well with the darker areas in the obesity chart. So strokes are related to obesity. I always want to remind people that 80% of the disease we have are caused by being overweight and obese. And these are just some of the diseases that are caused by that. But this also shows the improvement that a person can have just by getting down to a healthy weight. For example, type 2 diabetes, 83% of the time it's resolved. High blood pressure, 92% of the time it's resolved. The thing that we're interested in right here is the 10 to 15 years gain in life expectancy by being at a healthy weight. So it makes some sense that this is something we ought to try to achieve. Now, here's the lowdown on strokes. Okay, first of all, what is a stroke? Well, a stroke is the third leading cause of death in women, and women have 55,000 more deaths than men. And I'll explain why in a minute. The cause of a stroke is when the blood flow to the brain is cut off. And there's 3 reasons for this. One is complete total blockage and hardening of the arteries. Another one is a broken artery. And then the third one is a temporary blockage. This is what they call a mini stroke. So these all of these can cut blood flow to the brain, and this is when a stroke occurs. Now, what are the major risk factors? And these are the blood pressure is probably the most important. High blood pressure is the main risk for stroke. Another one is diabetes. Also heart disease, smoking is right up there also. Age and gender. Now, the older a person gets, the more likely they are to have a stroke. And this is why women have more strokes than men, because women live longer than men. So men, in a lot of cases, die for other reasons, and women live longer, and so therefore they have a tendency to get strokes more often than men. So 55,000 more women die than men. Race and ethnicity. I probably didn't spell that right, but I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to worry about it. But this is important because Hispanics and African Americans are more than twice likely to get strokes than white people. And this is not because of race. It's all because of lifestyle, eating habits, and that type of thing. So African Americans and Hispanics are twice as likely to get strokes as the white people. And then also is important, the risk factor is family history. Now, a lot of times people think that family history is a big part of it, but it's only about 20 to 30%. The rest of it, 70%, is choices that we make. It's how we live. Now, what are the symptoms? There's a lot of different symptoms. This are only a few of them. Sudden numbness or weakness in the face, arm, or leg, particularly on one side or the other. Sudden confusion or trouble speaking or understanding speech. That's me. Sudden vision problems in one or both eyes. Sudden difficulty in walking or dizziness or loss of balance. Or problems with coordination is another sign. And severe headaches with no known reason. Now, this is just a few, and the warning signs for women is often different than what it is for men. So you need to study up on those. Now, most people rarely think about blood flow or circulation. They think that, well, my heart's pumping and I see my veins, so everything must be working okay. But this is what's happening. In the top picture up here, the arteries have blood flowing through them. The arteries are very slick on the inside. Blood flows very easily. And then in the second picture, we're starting to get some buildup. And third picture, we have a lot of plaque and cholesterol built up and narrowing of the arteries, calcification of the arteries. But there's an important thing that happens between the first picture here and the second picture, and this is that damage occurs to the arteries. Cracks in the artery wall are caused by a lot of different things, but the main ones is deficiency in vitamin C. Because when you don't have enough vitamin C in there, and I'm talking about vitamin C from fruits and vegetables, which is better than the synthetic type. Vitamin C works with a liquid form of copper, and this creates collagen. And collagen, if you have collagen built up in your body, then you're less likely to have arterial damage. Sources is for vitamin C. That includes guavas, which is a tropical fruit, bell peppers, kiwi fruit, which you're probably familiar with, strawberries, oranges, papayas, broccoli, which I love, tomatoes, snow peas, and kale. The recommended daily value or amount that you should have of vitamin C is 60 milligrams up to 90 milligrams, somewhere in that range. Now, another one that causes, between picture 1 and picture 2, that causes the injury where the buildup starts, too much insulin causes the inflammation, and it causes microhemorrhaging. So it creates tiny cracks in there if your arteries are not healthy. Now, when you get those tiny cracks in there, then you get cholesterol goes to the crack and starts to coat it because it's like a Band-Aid, and calcium also starts going there, and this is kind of what creates the problem. But this is actually meant to be a Band-Aid and works on healing that. But when you get too much calcification and cholesterol and it builds up plaque, this is where the problem comes in. It gets a narrowing of the arteries. Now, sources of inflammation, I might point out, one of the main ones is stress, because when you're stressed out, this builds up cortisol in your body, and that's not a good thing. Another one is insulin. When your insulin levels are high, this causes inflammation in your body, which causes damage to your organs. And The one thing you want to remember is omega-3s reduces inflammation. That's omega-3s, let's just salmon, walnuts, almonds, avocados, different foods. These help reduce inflammation. So the next picture here, this is what happens. You start off with a healthy artery, and then you start getting some intermediate thickening. And what happens here, that's where the injury starts, and then it starts to get coated, and it starts thickening, and then less blood flow, and this can lead to all of these type of problems here. Sudden death, kidney failure, angina, heart failure, sudden death, in other words. So the important thing is we want to know what causes inflammation and how can we get rid of the buildup in your arteries. And it is possible to reverse that. Okay, sources of inflammation, sugar and carbs. We talk about this a lot. Sugar and carbs work in your body the same way. They both cause your blood sugars to rise. Carbs is, biscuits, bread, rice, pasta, all kinds of things is carbs, and that's what's found in most of the processed foods and the fast foods that we have. A lot of carbs and sugars. The high blood sugars lead to a high insulin response. Now, what happens when your blood sugars spike? The insulin pump kicks in, and then your insulin, what it does is start storing the extra blood sugars in your cells as fat. And then you'll have a quick drop. You'll get to a valley in your blood sugars, and then you're hungry again in a couple hours. So high blood sugars create insulin response. Insulin response creates inflammation, and inflammation creates 80% of the diseases that we have, including arterial damage. Now, 7 ways to help fix this and to avoid a stroke before a stroke has a chance to happen. Lower your blood pressure and get it down to a healthy weight. As I mentioned, reduces that to 92% of the time. I don't recall the exact number, but get it down to a healthy weight will reduce your blood pressure, usually without meds. Lose weight if possible. You're the one that makes the choices of what you eat. You can't blame it on anybody else other than fast food industry, because they make it so convenient, but they're not doing us any favors. It's all about the money for them. Exercise more. This helps make a stronger body, makes your bones stronger. And if you drink, do it in moderation. And then treat arterial fibrillation. Boy, that's a big word. And what this means is irregular heartbeat or slow heartbeat. So you want to treat those. They're treatable. Treat your diabetes. Diabetes is treated by getting down to a healthy weight, and that's the best way. And then quit smoking. Smoking is very bad for causing strokes. So how can you remove calcium from your arteries? The good news is that no matter how old you are or how bad things may seem for your arteries, you can turn it around. And some of the 3 things that you need to do for this, and I'll talk more about this in my next video, but exercise, and I'll talk about the different kinds of exercise that make a big difference in getting the calcium and cholesterol out of your arteries. Another one is diet. That's improving the way that you eat, making those decisions we talked about at the beginning, making the healthy choices. And the next one is about the herbs and vitamins. We'll talk about that next time too. That these are the things that you can do in order to hopefully reverse hardening the arteries and get the calcium out of your soft tissues and into the bones and teeth where they belong. Habits are very important. This is why the Habits of Health Lifestyle Hutchinson exist. You've probably heard the old saying, what you think, you are. Mohammed Gandhi said that. He said, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words, becomes your actions, that becomes your habits, that becomes your values, and that becomes your destiny. So you can go from believing something to have it being your destiny, having it being you. So if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me. If you liked what I had to say today, like it and share it with other people you care about. And also subscribe to my channel so my wife's not the only one. And until next time, we'll see you. And I want to thank you for joining me. And hope this was beneficial for you. If you have any questions, get in touch with me. And done told you all I know for this time. Okay, we'll catch you later.